I'd like to ask you, what did you have for breakfast? Aloo paratha. Okay, poha. Do you know how the ingredients that were used to prepare your breakfast were grown? Do you know where they were grown and how they were brought from where they were grown to your plate? The truth is, most of us, we don't have a clue. Now, many of the problems we face in the world today are due to man losing his relationship with nature and thus with where his food comes from. Industrialized agriculture focuses on profit and not nutritional well-being. In India, we're on our 12th, fifth-year plan, and this time round we're focusing on nutritional security. But the truth is, we cannot achieve nutritional security if we don't know where our food comes from. Now, I'm Krishna, as I was introduced, and I've started Solitude Farm 20 years ago in the international township of Auroville, based on the principles of natural farming and permaculture. And we've shown that local food is a solution, not only economically, but also ecologically, socially, and culturally. Now, I, like many of the students here, had a very privileged education. I studied in the J. Krishnamurti School in England, where I studied jazz, guitar, and theater, and I took care of the garden. And it was there that I discovered Masanobu Fukuoka, a Zen Master and a farmer who founded, he was the author of the One Straw Revolution. Now, he had a very profound insight that nature is already perfect. There's nothing that man can do to improve upon nature. And he developed this philosophy into something called natural farming or do-nothing farming, whereby he tried to mirror the natural processes and systems of nature into a non-interventional way of farming. Now, 13 years ago, I had the very good fortune to meet Fukuoka in Vandana Shiva's farm in Dehradun. And he was a short man in an indigo kimono with the wooden chapels. And he drew us a spiral. And he said that spiral is symbolic of man's action on this planet. Whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in education, economics, or in agriculture. All man's actions, they take him away from himself. Now, if you take agriculture, it starts with plowing, and then machinery, tractors, combines, goes on to chemicals, fertilizers, pesticides, hydroponics, genetically engineered crops. Eventually we'll be on the moon trying to grow carrots. And I can guarantee there's someone in NASA trying to do that right now. But you see, Mother Nature, she's not an abstract idea. She's the earth under our very feet. Now, what Fukuoka suggested was that instead of trying to do more, we should say, well, let's try and do less. Let's try and stop plowing and stop adding chemicals, stop using machinery, come to a point of non-action, the inversion of the spiral. And in that point of non-action, we might discover truly what nature is. Because, after all, nature has created the Amazon rainforest without any intervention or help from mankind. Now, Fukuoka said we can't know nature. You know, you can do 100 PhDs, but you'll never know how to make this tree or how to make a butterfly. He said that only a baka in Japanese means a fool. Only a fool can understand how to practice natural farming. Now, 23 years ago, when I arrived in Auroville as a young 19-year-old, very naive English boy, I started farming straight away in Auroville, and I had a dream. I dreamt that Fukuoka cut my hair. Back then, I had some hair to cut, and I paid him £1 for this haircut, and he gave me £100 in change. And in reflection, I can see that that dream was highly symbolic, because everything I've done over the last 23 years is inspired by Fukuoka and his vision of non-duality. And all of the inspiration has directed me to try and create a farm and a community that brings people back to their relationship with where their food comes from. Because a society that doesn't know where its food comes from is a society without culture. And humanity without culture will perish. Now, all civilizations have emerged from a healthy soil. Now, the soil at Solitude is alive. Millions of microorganisms, molds, bacteria, insects, earthworms, fungi, small animals. It's the life in the soil that's directly proportionate to the fertility of the soil. If you like, it's like a mathematical equation. Life equals fertility. Now, globally, the topsoil on this earth is diminishing at a very fast rate. Apparently, we have 60 years left of topsoil. Now, it's fairly obvious to me that a healthy soil gives rise to healthy plants. Healthy plants yield healthy crops. Healthy crops create healthy people, and healthy people will create a healthy society. And a healthy society will give rise to a vibrant and creative culture. Now, if we really understand that our whole world, our civilization, our culture emerges from a fertile and healthy soil, surely the question we need to be asking with some urgency is, how do we create a healthy soil? Now, in Solitude, every single weed, every blade of grass, every stick, every branch, all the organic matter is perceived as a bioresource. Now, that bioresource is our profit. Now, we're not talking about financial profit. We're talking about nutritional profit. If we can grasp this idea that by simply returning all organic matter, all waste organic matter back to the soil, then this process will heal this earth, then you can all go home. If you can grasp that, there's nothing more for me to say. It seems very trivial, this very simple idea, but it's of utmost importance. Now, permaculture, or applied ecology, is all about relationships, intercropping, rotations, water catchment, alternative energies, the use of various natural resources, or even how we can involve our society in the growing of our food. And in Solitude Farm, the permaculture we're practicing can be basically divided into 4 dimensions. The first dimension is, of course, this vibrant and diverse life that's found in the soil. And the second dimension is all the crops that emerge from that. We have over 80 different crops that are rotated in the fields throughout the year. The third dimension is the nutritional value of the crops. Sweet potatoes, pumpkins, gourds, millets, rice, lemons, all the fruits and everything. And many of those crops you'll find in shops, but there are many crops that you won't find in shops. They're volunteer crops. They grow semi-wild. And often these volunteer crops have medicinal value. They're high in nutritional value. They're almost free, and they have no ecological cost. Now, chicken spinach is high in vitamin C. We have an organic cafe on our farm, and we make a famous green smoothie from it. We make sugar-free green ice cream. We use it in salads, in sabjis. Now, the irony is, although it is almost free, it grows in everybody's garden in Auroville, no one uses it. Why? It's because we don't really know where our food comes from. Now, we eat what industrialized agriculture puts in the shops. But if you take Auroville as an example, these foods such as, potato, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, these foods don't even grow in our bioregion. So they require transportation to bring them to our plates. They require lorries to be constructed, factories to be made to make the steel for the lorry, another factory to make the paint for the lorry, another factory to make the tires for the lorry, and a huge petroleum industry to run the lorry. Now, the pollution that these factories incur, all of that cost is in the cost of the potato. That is called the ecological cost. And for that cost, we're all responsible, every single one of us. Now, in Auroville, we're about 3,000 people, and papayas grow everywhere. You throw a few seeds and they'll come up. Now, green papaya or unripe papaya is a wonderful vegetable, and it's used in many states in India, but not much in Tamil Nadu. We can make many dishes from it. So this is green papaya pesto noodles, and I'd like you to imagine if we could inspire the 3,000 people in Auroville once a week to eat one part of their meal using green papaya, this would imply an incredible boost in health, nutritional benefit. It would be an incredible economic saving, an ecological saving. But what I feel and what interests me is it would change the consciousness almost, if you like, of people, in that it would redefine how we start to relate to where our food comes from. Now, the green papaya is just one example. There are many, many types of food like that. Now, going on to the fourth dimension of our permaculture, we have many projects that emerge from the richness of our soil. The heart of the farm is, without a doubt, the organic cafe, where we serve over 10,000 localicious fresh thalis every day. The cafe is an example of economic sustainability. All of the food is either grown in our farm or farms in Auroville. And many of the dishes are prepared with volunteer crops, such as the Aparajit flower or various edible weeds in Ayurveda. And people are regularly claiming that this is the best food they've ever had in their life. Wholesome, natural, organic. But isn't that our birthright? Now, another project we've been running for the past 7 years is a weekly CSA, Community Supported Agriculture, fruit and vegetable basket. This project, people pay us in advance for a weekly basket. They don't choose what they get in their basket. They say, okay, we make a conscious choice to eat at least a portion of our diet from a farm where we have a relationship. And this project creates community and pushes people to discover foods that they might not usually use, such as the banana stem there. Cooking and permaculture workshops are an integral part of the educational work going on at the farm. The cooking workshop is especially important because if you're going to get people to eat local foods that they're not familiar with, you have to show them how to cook them. And with our usual creativity, we've been working on cookbooks and cooking videos. For example, using the Aparajit flower to make a blue ice cream. You might be wondering about all the music instruments on the stage. So I'm also a musician, as was mentioned, and our band Emergence is under the roster of Blue Frog in Mumbai. And 6 years ago, I started Lively Up Your Earth Eco Music Festival as a platform to spread our message in a more sort of a wider, give us a wider platform. It's a celebration of all the work going on in the farm and also the other work going on in Auroville. Our newest project, which is called People, Food, Music, it's our latest passion, and it's about bringing people together with all of what we're talking about, people, food, and music. So the central component of People, Food, Music is a circle garden, and this circle garden is a simple permaculture module that can be made by a small group of people within an hour. It can be recreated anywhere. In schools, could be made right here if you want it, in hospitals, in your front garden. It's easy to maintain and it can be replicated anywhere. So the first People, Food, Music project that we've started with has been with a bunch of kids from a local village called China Mudlia Javadi, just near in Auroville. And these kids, they are the poor of the poor kids. They came to us and they said they've been given a small strip of land that's been used as a dump. They cleaned it of all the plastic, and they came and they asked us to show them how to start gardening. So they learnt the circle gardening at the farm, and we went to their village and we made, that was the first garden we made. There you can see the strip of land that they have. And then we've been back many times to make many other gardens, and they've also been to the farm doing cooking workshops, and we bring them to the farm for various musical events. The next project we're going to be doing with them next month is to do a permaculture cooking workshop and music event at that village. So these projects, you know, they bring people together, and the transformation that it creates is really, it's very beautiful. If you can bring people together in celebration and joy, you can do something. If you can't bring people together, you can't do anything. So music is bringing people together. Food is bringing people together. Cooking, very essential, basic things in our life can create a difference. Another inspiring aspect of People, Food, Music has been the the permaculture gardens that we've started in public spaces. So this is our town hall in Auroville. And so we've been given some of the land in the town hall, and we're trying to get a group of Aurovillians to take care of, say 5 people take care of one circle throughout the year, and the food should be going to a local cafe in the town hall to show people the beauty and the taste of local food, and to create community again. So this is how it's developing, and we want to show people the aesthetic. Aesthetics are not only about hibiscus and plumeria. There's a beauty in a pumpkin flower and a bindi that is growing. And the tea brig is not yet. Because music and food is the cohesive that brings us together. And if we can build community over the subject of local food and ecology, then we can create social change. So with that note, I'd like to play you a song from our latest music video with my musicians, and I hope this talk inspires you to start making gardens all over your school and reconnect yourself with where your food comes from. Thank you very much. Bulakagli kan yenna vile ni salna taraf yenna vile na 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 Thank you very much.